Welcome again to the topic of gear tooth profile. The gear tooth, which all of you know what it is, has got a kind of a profile which is not a straight line, neither it is a part of arc. Have a look at this tooth. This is a typical tooth of a gear that is shown, and this is the side surface of the tooth. Now what is the shape of this particular curvature? Now this curvature is of course neither a straight line nor it is a part of a circle, but this is a curve that is called as a involute curve. We are now going to learn how to draw this involute curve to represent a tooth. Before we do that, let us have a look at some gear terminology, gear tooth terminology. So different types of pitches are there. Circular pitch is called as CP, and what it means is it is a distance between two consecutive points on a gear tooth. So suppose I draw say one tooth like this, another tooth like this and so on, then there is one diameter that is called as a pitch circle diameter. So along the pitch circle diameter, if you measure a distance between two similar points, this is a point on one tooth, this is a similar point on the other tooth. So this distance from here to here, this is called as a circular pitch. Now how much is this circular pitch equal to? This circular pitch is equal to the pitch circle diameter into pi. That means the circumference of this particular circle. Divide that circumference by how many number of teeth are there. So this is one tooth, second tooth, third tooth. So like that, suppose there are n teeth, then pi into PCD. Pi into PCD means the circumference of this circle. Divide that by number of teeth. That gives you the circular pitch. So same thing is written here, circumference upon teeth. So pi into PCD upon teeth. So once you remember circular pitch, then many other things are easy to understand. There is another type of pitch that is called as diametral pitch. Now diametral pitch you can see is called as T upon PCD. The third pitch is module pitch, which is also called as module M. That is defined as PCD by 2. Now how to remember all this? First is, you have to understand what is first, which we have just now seen, pi into PCD upon T. Once you understand the first one, then out of that, this part, PCD upon T, this PCD upon T is the third module called as module pitch. So you can say this part is module. So pi into M is circular pitch. Circular pitch is pi into this part is M, where M is PCD by T. And the diametral pitch is 1 upon M. If you could just take a reciprocal of this, then T upon PCD, you can see here, T upon PCD makes it diametral pitch. So this is how you can remember all the three types of pitches. Out of that, this module pitch M is of certain use, which we will see as we go ahead. Then there are some other terms. Calculations of gear parameters. Now what are these different parameters? First thing is circular pitch. We have just now seen circular pitch. Now that circular pitch is written in module form, pi into module, which we have just now seen. Pi into this part is module. So pi into module is circular pitch. Then pitch circle diameter. Now pitch circle diameter, as you know, is this pitch circle diameter. This is equal to number of teeth into module. Okay, so again this is very easy to understand. Pitch circle diameter is M into T is pitch circle diameter. Then module M. Now module M is already written here, PCD upon T. Then the addendum. Now this is a new term called as addendum, which is taken equal to module. That means the length of the addendum is equal to module. What is addendum? Now if you look at this tooth, then this point of the tooth, which is on the pitch circle diameter, from that point to the top point, this distance is called as a module. Now addendum circle diameter, the diameter which is passing from this point, that is called as a addendum circle diameter. So that is pitch circle plus M on the other side. So pitch circle plus 2M, that is 2 addendum. Clearance. Now what is the clearance? Clearance is when the other tooth, if you draw the other tooth, suppose I draw other tooth like this. This is the tooth of the other gear. So this much space which is there, this space from here to here, that is called as a clearance. So the clearance is taken as 0.157 times the module. The next term is dedendum. Now what is dedendum? From this point to the root of the tooth, this is called a dedendum. So that dedendum is addendum plus clearance. So because this addendum is for this gear, this addendum is for the other gear. the addendum of both the gears is always same. So addendum plus clearance makes the dedendum. So you can see here dedendum is equal to addendum plus clearance. So you add m plus you add this. So that makes it 1.157 times m, that is a dedendum. It's very easy to understand. Then the dedendum circle diameter is the one which is passing from here, which is PCD minus 2 times the dedendum. And then the tooth clearance is given by 1.57 times m. The tooth thickness is given by 1.57 times m. So from here to here is the tooth thickness, which is again, this is pi by 2, that is 1.57. Because the entire, this is a circular pitch, so out of that if you take only this much part, then that comes as 1.57 times m, which is the thickness of the tooth. So these are the various terms which you are supposed to find out. Once the data is given to you, you will be given m. That means for an exercise, you are given, draw the gear tooth profile where the module is so and so, and then the number of teeth of the gear are so and so. So when these two things are given, then you can work out all the different parameters which are shown here. So assuming that you do all this, then the next thing is how to draw this particular profile. So for drawing the profile, if you see the the next page, this is the procedure that is given. Now how to draw this? This procedure is starting from here. So I'll explain you the construction of the gear tooth. So the procedure starts like this. So you can have a look here. Once you are given, like what was discussed just now, once you are given M and T, you are given T1 and T2 because there are two gears. So you will be given, say, the teeth of both the gears, module is the same. So after doing all this, you will find M into T, that is the pitch circle diameter of one gear, and this M into T2 is the pitch circle diameter of the other gear. So you know the diameters of both the gears. So what we do is we start like this. So now as you can see, this is the diameter of one gear, this is the diameter of other gear. So if you take the radius, then you draw one line, and on this line you mark from O dash to P, that is the radius of one gear, and O to P, that is the radius of another gear. So we have drawn one line, and on that line we have drawn R1 plus R2. That means these are the radius values of two gears. So that is the center distance from O dash to O between the two gears. After you draw that, we now draw the two circles which are passing from P with O as a center. So O as a center, OP is a radius, you draw one circle. Similarly, O dash as a center, O dash P as a radius, draw another circle. So these are the two circles which are touching each other. So you can see this circle and this circle. These are the two circles which are drawn at the start, and when you draw these two circles, they are passing from point P, which is called as a contact point of the two pitch circles. It's also called as a pitch point. So now we have got point P, that is a pitch point. After we do that, next thing is we are going to draw a tangent to this circle. So this is a line drawn that is called as a tangent to the circle, passing from point P, and it is perpendicular to O dash O. So this line is perpendicular to O dash O because it is a tangent. Then through P, draw a line which is called as a line of action at a pressure angle. So you are also given one more data, that is a pressure angle value. So according to the pressure angle, we draw another line, and this is called as a line of action of force. That means when one tooth is pushing the other tooth, that force is acting along this line, that is called as a line of action, which is making angle theta to the tangent. So we draw this particular line. Then the next is through this O and through this O dash, we are going to draw perpendiculars on this inclined line or the line of action. So from O, we are drawn a perpendicular, that means OE, on this particular line, the line of action, line of action. So line of action and OE is drawn perpendicular. Same thing you have to do for the other circle also. So we draw this much, then we draw another circle which is passing from this particular point E. So next thing is we are drawn this circle. First we are drawn this and this circle. First we have drawn the pitch circles, and now we have drawn one more circle. This circle is called as a base circle. So after drawing this much, then we go to the second part. You can see here there is a second part, second set of instructions, which we will now see what they are, which are written here and they are shown here. So now what we do is, this is what we have drawn just now as a base circle passing from point E. Now on this base circle, we are going to draw the involute curve. Now what is the meaning of involute curve? If you see here, the meaning of involute curve is, if you suppose you imagine that there is one rope which is wound on the circumference of this circle, and that rope is suppose fixed at this point. One end of the rope is fixed here. This is the other end of the rope. Now if you start unwinding this rope, that means the rope is in contact, you start taking it away from the circle, and while doing that you have to maintain the rope tight. That means if it is tight, that means it is tangent to the circle all the time. So under this condition, when you start lifting this end of the rope, and suppose you are tying one pencil at this end of the rope, then the curve that will be drawn by the end of the rope, that is this curve is called the involute curve, which you must have done in your first semester. So this is the involute curve which we draw. This involute curve becomes the shape of the tooth. So what we do is, we draw this involute curve. How do we draw involute curve? On this base circle, you mark certain point like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You draw points, mark points of at say, let us say equal distance. So once you draw these points, then join these points to the center of the circle, and from these points you draw perpendicular, that means a tangent to this radius. So to this radius you draw tangent at all these points. Now what we do, suppose you think only this much part of the rope. So this much part of the rope you are taking away from the circle. That means this end you are taking away, keeping the rope straight. So when you do that, this length of the rope becomes straight here, and this length is equal to the length which was in contact. So this give you first point. Now when you want to take the second point, that time you have to take the second tangent, and on this second tangent you have to take a distance which is double of this. So this distance already you have in your divider. So this distance you mark on the tangent drawn from the second time, you mark it 2 times. From this point to, you mark it twice. So that will give you this point. Similarly, the tangent drawn at 3, you mark the distance 3 times. Starting from this point number 3, mark the distance once, then second, then third. Similarly, from point number 4, draw the tangent is already there. From the point number 4, the distance which you have taken the divider, starting from this point 4, you go on marking it 1, 2, 3 and 4 and get this point. Like that you get all the tangents, several tangents, and draw this end point wherever it is, and you get all the different points over here. Once you get the points, then you draw with the help of a French curve, you draw a curve like this. This is called as an involute curve. Now to what extent you are going to draw, how long you are going to draw, that is decided by the addendum circle. Now what is the addendum circle? Just now we have seen the circle which is passing from the highest point of the tooth. This is called the addendum circle. Now since we have already calculated the size of the addendum, you know the addendum circle diameter. So with the help of addendum circle diameter information, we draw, as you can see here, this particular circle is drawn, that is the addendum circle. So this addendum circle is drawn. So wherever is the addendum circle, up to addendum circle, you have to continue this procedure and draw the profile of the gear tooth. That means the involute curve you have to draw up to the addendum circle. Once you draw this much, now what we have to do is, as you can see here, you have to take a small piece of tracing paper. This is a tracing paper you have to take, which is semi-transparent. Now that tracing paper you put here. So this tracing paper is put like this over here. Then what we do, we have to transfer this base circle on the tracing paper. That means with the help of French curve, or maybe with the help of a compass, you draw this line on the tracing paper, which is representing base circle. Then you also draw this tracing, this involute curve on the tracing paper, which is connected to the base circle at this point. So your tracing paper will look like this. It has got AB segment, which is a segment of the base circle, and it also has got a part of the involute curve, which we have created like this. Now this tracing paper we are going to make use of to draw these profiles of the gear tooth. Now how to do that? See, at the moment we have got only pitch circle diameter, which is this one, which is passing from point P, and then the base circle which is passing from point E. So we have got these two circles. Then we are now going to draw third circle, that is the addendum circle, and the fourth circle, that is the dedendum circle. So right now we are going to have total 4 circles. First we have drawn pitch circle, then we have drawn the base circle. Now after drawing base circle, we have prepared the involute tooth. After drawing the involute tooth, then we came to the main figure and drawn 2 more circles, addendum circle and dedendum circle. So now we have got, as you can see here, we have got now 4 circles drawn with us. Now what we do is, look at this point. Now this much part I am just showing you here as a magnified drawing. So as you can see, we have got these 4 circles: addendum circle diameter, pitch circle diameter, base circle diameter and dedendum circle diameter, and somewhere on the base circle diameter we have prepared this involute curve like this, and that is now available with us on a piece of tracing paper. Then next thing what we do is, on this pitch circle diameter, on the pitch circle diameter where P point is already marked, here we are going to now draw a segment, or we are going to mark the distance. That distance is going to represent the tooth thickness. So we already know what is the pitch of the circular pitch. So now if you see here, this is one tooth. Now the second tooth will be somewhere here. So point 1 to point 3, this much distance from 1 to 3, this is going to be your circular pitch. Now you know the value of circular pitch. Now from 1 to 2 is tooth thickness, which is half of circular pitch. So if you know the circular pitch, you know the tooth thickness also. So that means if you know 1 to 3, then you know 1 to 2 also. Now if you know 1 to 2, half of that is also possible. So 1 to P is half of 1 to 2, and 1 to 2 is half of 1 to 3, and we know 1 to 3. So once you know 1 to 3, that is a circular pitch, you can find out 1 to 2 and you can find out 1 to P. So what we now do is, we have got only point P here to start with, other points are not there. So from point P, go on this side by the distance 1 to P, which you know how much it is, and mark point 1. Similarly on this side, mark point 2. Once you know point 1 and point 2, then take distance 1, 2 and go ahead and mark distance 2, 3. So like that you have got point 1, P is already there, then point 2 and then point 3. Once you do this much, now the tracing paper which is there with you, that tracing paper you have to bring here, and what is done is, this base circle line, that means this AB line, arc rather, this arc you have to match with the base circle which is present here, and the involute profile which is drawn, that profile you have to adjust in such a way that it is passing from point 1. So hold the tracing paper such that base circle is matching with base circle and the involute profile is passing from point 1. Once you do that, now you are in a position to transfer the curve on the tracing paper on the drawing paper. How you do it? On this tracing paper, here there is a tracing paper like this here. So on the tracing paper, you have to just pierce the tracing paper by this particular pointed edge of the compass. So when you pierce this tracing paper by the compass like this, then the tracing paper points, rather the involute profile points, they will be marked on the drawing paper. From this point to this point and all the in-between points, you just go on pierce like this slightly. Once you do that, then you remove the tracing paper. On the drawing paper, you will find all the pierced lines, all the small points like this you will observe on the drawing paper, which has come because of this pointed edge. Then you draw by French curve, you draw a curve on your drawing paper from this point to this point shown by green color. So this is the involute profile of the tooth which you are drawn on the drawing paper, which is a part of the tooth. Once you do this much, then the next thing is simple. You have to do this same thing you have to do at point 3. Same thing you have to do at point 3. Then you have to reverse the tracing paper, make it upside down, so that this curve will look like the opposite curve, like a mirror image. So repeat the thing and transfer the curve passing from point 2, so that you will draw this much part of the curve. Same thing you do here, wherever there is point 4, do the same thing for point 4 and repeat the curve like this on point 3 and on point 4. So you have drawn 2 such teeth like this. You have drawn it only up to the green lines. But now the next thing is, you have to draw the full tooth. Now how you will draw full tooth? For drawing the full tooth, you have to draw the lower part of the tooth also. Remember, the actual tooth is right from here till here, because the base of the tooth is here. This is a dedendum circle. So the actual tooth is till here. We are drawn only from base circle to addendum circle. We have yet to draw it from the base circle to the dedendum circle. Now how to draw this lower part? As you see here, the lower part is something different. What we do is, this part of the involute which is touching to the base circle, you draw a line passing from this point to the center of the circle. So this red line that is drawn, it is a line drawn as a radial line. Radial line means this line is drawn on a radius. So this line is going to the center of the circle. So this line is drawn, red line. After this line is drawn, then between the dedendum circle and this line, this small arc is drawn. This arc is representing the root radius. This is the radius at the root of the tooth, and the value of this root radius is already given here. You can see here, fillet radius is circular pitch upon 8. So this value you find out how much it is, and this value we are making use of to draw this particular small radius over here. So now the tooth profile is consisting of involute profile, then a straight line, and then a tooth radius. So this blue color is a tooth radius, red color is a straight line, and this green color is a involute profile. So from here till here is the tooth profile. Then we have to go to the top side of the tooth. This is the top surface of the tooth. So join this by a addendum circle arc. So this is the addendum circle arc joining the top points of the two involute curves. So this is the top surface of the tooth. So like that, this one tooth we are drawn, and like that you draw one tooth on this side and one more tooth on this side. So total 3 teeth we are drawing on one gear. Now once you do this much, then next thing is we are going to draw 2 gears basically. And when you draw 2 gears, what we are drawing is, we are showing, say like this is one gear, and then the teeth of the other gear are also to be shown like this. So your final figure should come like this: 3 teeth of one gear, and in that 3 teeth, 2 teeth of the other gear are meshing like this. This is what you have to draw. Right now we have seen these 3 teeth. I have explained to you these 3 teeth. Now the same procedure you have to carry out and draw these 2 teeth on the upper side, so that one tooth will fit into this space and the other tooth will fit into this space, by making use of the same procedure. Only thing is, the pitch circle diameter of this gear which is here, on that pitch circle diameter, you have to properly mark the similar points 1, 2, 3, so that the 2 teeth will be drawn in these 2 gaps like this. Like this. That is what we have to do. So whatever is explained just now, that is all included here. So by doing all this, we are in a position to draw the gear tooth profile consisting of 3 teeth here and 2 teeth on the other side. So this is the procedure for drawing the involute tooth of a meshing gear. Now having done this, there is one more small exercise, that is rack and pinion. Now rack and pinion is also a gear pair. But then, if you can see here, this is a rack and pinion, this is a pinion, and this is a rack. Now what is a rack and pinion? Rack and pinion is nothing but similar 2 gears. So there are, you can think of these 2 gears similar to what we had done earlier. The only thing is, this gear has got diameter which is infinite. So when the diameter is infinite, this arc becomes straight line. So this straight line arc, so this is a part of the gear. You can see here, what you see here, this is the only part of the full gear whose size is infinity. So the diameter of this gear is infinity, and we have taken only part of that gear. That's why it is a straight line. So this is also one gear, and compared to this gear is very, very small. So this is called the pinion. So this is a pinion, this is rack. So this is called a rack and pinion. Now we have to draw a similar profile, gear tooth profile for rack and pinion. Now this is very, very simple. What we do is, this gear or the pinion, the teeth of the pinion, you can see these are the teeth of the pinion. Now these teeth of the pinion are drawn by the same procedure what is explained here. So whatever is explained here, by this procedure we are drawing the teeth of the pinion. Now the teeth of the rack. For drawing the teeth of the rack, you have point P. Just like here, there was point P and you are drawn one tooth. Now in this case you have to draw the teeth here, and instead of this teeth, you have to draw the teeth of the rack here. So for drawing the teeth of the rack, the procedure is simple. From this point P, draw a tangent line like we have drawn last time here. Even here also we have drawn this tangent line. So this tangent line is there with us. On this tangent line, we are going to mark these points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a proper manner. Okay, because they are represent the tooth thickness. Just like this is a tooth thickness, same thing you have to mark the points on this line representing the tooth thickness. Then the next thing is, now here this particular profile of the tooth of the rack is not going to be involute profile. Here it was involute profile, even here also there is involute profile, but this part of the tooth is not going to be involute profile because this rack or this gear has got infinite diameter. So this involute profile becomes a straight line. So in this case, involute profile is a straight line. So all what you have to do is, from these points 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., which are going to represent the tooth of the rack, all what you have to do is you have to just draw a line, as you can see here, and this line is going to be this. You can look at this line. This line is inclined at theta degrees. That means this line is inclined to vertical at theta degrees. So instead of drawing the involute profile for the rack, you have to just draw straight lines making angle theta degrees, and once you draw that, then your rack is ready. So drawing rack is very easy, no involute profile, just to draw inclined lines at an angle of theta passing from the points 1, 2, 3, 4 in proper direction. So once you do that, your rack is ready. Pinion is drawn just like earlier procedure here, so that your rack and pinion profile becomes ready. So with this information, we are now going to draw, as a part of your assignment, you are going to draw two things. One is gears in mesh. So here gear A and gear B, they are the two gears. For gear A and for gear B, the module as you know, module becomes this distance. So I am giving you module as 16, module value is 16 mm, and then the number of teeth on these two gears I will give, say about 12 teeth on this and 14 teeth on this. So this is T1, T2. So the exercise is T1 12, T2 14, module 16. So making use of these figures and these figures, you can draw the pitch circle diameters. They are these pitch circle diameters, and you can start working and draw this mesh. The second exercise is rack and pinion, where A, let us keep the same A with T equal to 12. Module also let us keep same 16 mm. So this is one of the gears called as a pinion, and then after pinion plus there is a rack. So rack doesn't need any details. So rack and pinion matching with this size pinion. So this is second exercise, this first exercise. So these two gears, gear meshing gears, this one AB is one gear pair, and then rack and pinion is another pair. So these two things you have to draw, which will look something like this, and the first one will look like this, but then here is only one gear. When you will draw, there will be 3 teeth here, and there will be 2 teeth coming from the other side of the other gear here. So that becomes the exercise for this particular drawing sheet, this particular practice sheet.